Good morning. Basically, we're going to
Morning, Rabbi.
elaborate, Larry, what you asked yesterday. So let's look at Mishnah Berurah, Siman Kuf Vav. Then from there, we'll go to Tur Rambam. Shulchan Aruch.
Which Siman, I'm sorry.
Siman Kuf Vav.
Thank you.
Question really was, Sunday we spoke about Osek B'Mitzvah Patur Mitzvah regarding Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu is being punished, going to Mitzrayim, not circumcising his son. He is going to do the mitzvah that Hashem told him. He said, forget now the fact what he is about to do. Hashem told him, go. I have an obligation to every Osek B'Mitzvah is Patur Mitzvah. So yesterday he was asking also, people who are seriously learning Torah, seriously learning Torah, have to pray on that. Look at Kuf Vav Sif Bet. Kuf Vav. This is basically what I told you yesterday to look at Masechet Shabbat. After that, look at Sif Bet.
But let's remember, what is our learning, after learning some of this, our learning isn't Torah so no so.
Definitely.
I just, because after learning it, there's otherwise I'm like Rab Shimon ben Yochai, I guess. And I just want to make sure my Torah is not.
Yeah. And look at Sif Bet. Misha Torato Umanuto.
Where's that Sif Bet?
No, but the Sif Bet, Kuf Vav Sif Bet. 106 Bet.
No, that's Adnashim Vabadim, Alpha P.
No. Siman Kuf Vav 106 Sif Bet.
106.
You are looking at 107. I'm looking at one. Shulchan Aruch Siman Kuf Vav.
No, I have it as Halacha Gimel.
Interesting.
Wow.
Misha Torato Umanuto. כגון רבי שמעון בן יוחאי וחבריו, doesn't have to pray, מפסיק לקריאת שמע ולא לתפילה. Which means when he and his son sat in the cave for 12 years, he never prayed. They only stopped for קריאת שמע and they never prayed. And the obvious question is why? Why דווקא תפילה? אבל says שולחן ערוך, אנו we, remember when he says we, he talks, Bet Yosef talks about himself, not we, yes? אבל אנו מפסיקים בין לקריאת שמע, בין לתפילה. Let's look the Mishnah Berurah. We'll see in a minute. Mishnah Berurah is addressing Eli says maybe it depends if the Hachma is Minat Torah, Minat Rabbanan, in a minute. But the Mishnah Berurah says even according to the Ramban, and he explains what he take this.
No, the Rambam in Hilchos Kriyat Shema says you stop.
And we're going to see the Rambam in two places.
Yeah, he has it in Tfilah and Birkat Kohanim.
And look a second, please look at the Mishnah Berurah.
Okay, both.
Kegon Rashbi. It's about six lines from the bottom.
I got it. Hey, Rabbi, where is Moshe knows his Torah? Like, if he's talking face to face with Hashem, why doesn't he ask the priority? Why do we have a doubt there?
In a second. The Mishnah Berurah explains. This is a Gemara, he quotes a Gemara. What gave Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai and his friends? His friends doesn't mean that they lived in the same generation. In many generations, we had people in this category. הם לא היו עוסקים כלל במלאכתם, ואין מבטלים מלימודם אפילו רגע. Larry, this is the definition. ואין מבטלים מלימודם אפילו רגע. Yes? I know many people that learn a lot and they really learn, yes? But you go to your car, you go to your butcher, you go to the grocery store. What do you do at a grocery store when you wait online? was the people around me, this, that. It says the Gemara tells us about, for instance, in Masechet Makot, this question, they asked Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel when he went, is it good, to purchase meat to the wedding of his son. You hear this? The Tanaim are walking with Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel, going to buy meat to his. This is Ein Mafsikim Afilu Rega, yes? Okay, it's not to just.
What am I learning here, Rabbi, that you want to buy meat for his son's wedding?
Every 60 seconds of every minute, of every 24 hours was busy not to think about anything but the Divrei Torah. The Chazon Ish definitely wasn't this category. Chacham Ezra Atiyah was this kind. At certain times, yes, because Chacham Ovadia was very busy later in his life with global stuff, unfortunately. Chacham Ezra Atiyah very often, used to wander around the blocks of his house. He didn't know where he's living. It's a famous story. It's a very cute story. His son used to come here once, says to him, he's asking his son, where does Chacham Atiyah, his son? He says, Abba, don't you recognize me? His head was not there, you understand? Yeah. He was asking his son in the street. No, but this is exactly what he means. Yeah. We think that Baba is this is what defines a person. What is your head busy? Okay, anyway, he says that this. Now, Eli's question. We stop. Remember when we say East, the Bet Yosef, the Rambam, yes? We're talking about us. The Kriyat Shema, Eli, why did Rabbi Shimon Yochai stop to say Shema? This is
That's the Svara. Okay.
Even if you follow the Rambam, Hidvar Torah, we are obligated to pray Minat Torah b'kol makom. Minat Torah אין לה זמן קבוע, ודי בפעם אחת ביום, וכנ"ל. Minat Torah, we did it many times in the Rambam inside. You can pray once a day in your own language. Good. וכשקורא קריאת שמע יקראנה עם ברכותיה. He says that when Rabbi Shimon Yochai stopped, he didn't stop just to say Shema ואהבת וים שמוע. He said the ברכות קריאת שמע also, ואחר כך יחזור ללימודו ולא יתפלל. Now he's asking the obvious question. ואף שצריך לבטל ולהפסיק לימודו לעשיית כל המצוות. I'm really learning. Let's say we have a class, but right now I have to do a mitzvah. I have to close the Gemara. I have to stop the Gemara. אפילו שדברי סופרים. Now he's explaining to us a very big question. If the rule is osek b'mitzvah, patur min hamitzvah. If you're visiting a sick man, not a social visit, not a nonsense visit, it's with how are you? Did you see the game yesterday? If you're really visiting, you make the guy feel good, and you look at your time, and this amount of mincha is passing. Don't pray. Continue entertaining the men that you are visiting. Osek b'mitzvah, patur min hamitzvah. He's asking, why don't you say, even if we sit around? I'm doing now mitzvah d'oraita, we're learning. He says, the reason why we have to stop for any mitzvah, even if the mitzvah is the Rabbanan, like Kriyat Megillah, the halomed ve'eino mekayem noach lo shelo nivra. The learning for the intellectual pursuit, for the pleasure. I mean, if you really learn good, it's mind-boggling. Your brain is, if you're learning for that, you're better off not be born and not open the Gemara. While we're learning Torah to fulfill, to know what Hashem wants us to do, and to do it. Mikol makom tefillah. So he's asking a question. Yes, Eli? If I have to start for any mitzvah, why? I'm doing a mitzvah. The biggest mitzvah in the world is to really learn. Yes. Mikol makom tefillah. The essence of tefillah is basically to ask Hashem to fulfill our wishes. Kila, we are more lenient בשאר מצוות, לגבי אנשים כאלו שאינם מבטלים מלימודם אפילו רגע. Okay, this we can spend a long time, but basically what he's saying, real learning is really connecting to Hashem. What is tefillah? Tefillah is I'm picking up the phone, I'm talking to Hashem, yes? Because if you're learning Torah seriously, you're also connected to Hashem.
We say theoretically.
Rabbi Prock, using you as an example, suppose you're teaching a class.
Yes.
Because they talk about it. I have a couple of questions. Lo made la'acherim, what do?
I have to stop no matter what, because my obligation to teach is part of my obligation to learn.
Because the Shulchan, I think, says Lo made la'acherim eino posek about posek the korek pasuk rishon. That's a
they are referring to the Gemara in Brachot. And the Gemara in Brachot says that Rav, in the time of the Talmud, he used to learn every morning from 4 in the morning till 8, 4 hours, before sunrise into sunrise. The Gemara says if Rav used to realize this man of the Achma is passing, right? He used to ask a question, and the students discuss it, and but this 60 seconds he used to say Shema.
I thought it was only Shema Yisrael Hashem Echad. You only say that.
This is
Or is it a question of
this is the Gemara. The Gemara says Shema. He said Shema.
This is the first paragraph.
Now look further.
Oh, wait, can we use Sammy as an example? Sammy's an Otsek B'tzorchet Tzibur, right? Does he have to stop?
24/7.
So we mentioned the other day, if today, I mean, remember, if you hear from him how little they are really Osek B'tzorchet Tzibur, but it's mainly, it's a powerful job that you can do a lot, but while he is meeting with people, yes, and then he's Osek, then he's Patur from Tefillah, yes.
Right. Something like Rabbi Atiyah. Not that he was immersed in Torah, was immersed in him. So technically, he only had to pray 1 time a day, or no, it's not recommended.
Al-Khalama say it doesn't apply in the last 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Again, the last 1,000 years, no one used it.
Hatzalah.
Yeah, of course. But I'm just wondering theoretically.
Hatzalah.
That's
I'm
different.
telling you,
But
if you have
Rabbi was
when your mother
immersed
when your mother was sick and you visited your mother at that time, you didn't have to do any mitzvah. Yes? Yeah, nothing to do with Hatzalah. Any mitzvah that you sincerely do, remember. This is why I used before Bikur Cholim. Bikur Cholim by most people is a social visit. Okay, check it. Okay. I was there also. No one needs you there. Are you there really to help him? Are you willing to roll your sleeve to help him if you need an uncomfortable situation? This is what Bikur Cholim is about. So it says the answer to your question is Mefurash in Shulchan Aruch. The people that are Osek B'tzorchet Tzibur, while they are Osek B'tzorchet Tzibur, they are Patur from other mitzvot. In a minute, I'll show you how far it goes.
Rabbi, I didn't understand the answer. What is that? The Rashid Tabah from the Chanal? Mekom Mekom Yena to Ein Lo Zman Kabua, Badai.
Kila, it's more. We are more lenient.
So we're more lenient. How's that the answer? Hold on a second. How's that the answer that he could skip the tefillah if we're going to say it's chayav once a day?
Since the purpose of tefillah is only bakashat rachamim, and there isn't any specific time in Torah, which means a minute after sunset or a minute. So he's explaining to us that this mitzvah is on a lower level than other mitzvot, because it's basically bakashat rachamim without specific time. It shows you that this mitzvah is a different category.
So he's rating the Doraitas, even though this is according to Rambam that he's saying it's chayav.
He's talking about the
right? So he's saying no because it's on a lower level than Shema. So he would not. So he would skip. He wouldn't skip it.
Yes, I told you how the commented to really explain. Tefillah is connecting to Hashem.
You're saying the learning.
Person,
okay.
When a person really learns.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So are you really saying then that Kriyat Shema trumps everything,
we
correct?
We really did not. The only thing we saw here is how really the power of real Torah, not inspirational and not the jokes and not the stories, but learning Torah. Shema, Eli is bothered if Tefillah is the right.
I want to
So
start
who cares?
mitzvot.
He cares. But Eli is saying we are reading mitzvot. It's the only mitzvah, but the only mitzvah. In a minute, we'll see in the Rambam. There is another one. We'll see in a minute.
Okay.
Wait a minute. If the Rambam holds that it's a doraisa, right?
This was your last question at the beginning.
But
So
he
what-
answers. But he answers it in Hilchos Tefillah Birchas Kohanim. He tells you
That what?
the Osek b'Talmud Torah v'Gia Zman Tefillah Posek.
He's talking to me and you, and the Rambam was talking about himself. The Rambam was talking about Abaye and Rava. There's only one group of people that the Gemara says that if they learn the Patur from Tefillah, this is at the category, at the level of Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai and his friends.
See,
But he
right.
also
The Rambam would explain this.
doesn't he say mitzvah Talmud Torah is gedolah mitzvah? He says it.
Okay, so
Mefurash.
yeah, no, but Eli is asking, but why is Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai obligated to stop to read the Megillah? I mean, why is he obligated to do any mitzvot the Rabbanan, and he's not obligated to tefillah? This was Eli's problem.
Maybe it's a mitzvah uveret.
No, but the halacha is that osek b'mitzvah patur min mitzvah, even if it's a mitzvah over.
Well,
Now, before we go to the Rambam, we still have 30 minutes. Go to Shulchan Aruch, Siman Lamed Vav. Go back Siman Lamed Vav, 36.
but Rabbi Prague, just methodologically, you have this question. You open up the Gemara first, right? And you directed me to Hilchot Shabbat. Then what is the next step? What would you do next to learn it properly?
The right way to do it is Be'emet, to learn Masechet Sukkah, page 25a. Or Masechet Brachot, that's the same. Then you see the Machloket Rishonim there. And then you go to two Bet Yosef, Shulchan Aruch, the right
Because
way.
they don't bring me. All right.
Now I'm going to show you where it's written in the Shulchan Aruch, okay?
I don't know which.
Lamed Chet, I'm sorry, not Lamed Vav. Siman Lamed Chet, 38 Chet. Lamed Chet Chet. Shulchan Aruch, 38 Chet. If you want to see, interestingly, like this is the only place that Shulchan Aruch brings it, except the other place we saw before, Lamed Chet Chet. Previous page. You have it there? Listen to this. Kotvei Tefillin, a scribe who writes Tefillin and mezuzot. He, and those who handle Tefillin for minimal profit, וכל העוסקים במלאכת שמיים, פטורים מהנחת תפילין כל היום זולת בשעת קריאת שמות תפילה. Each one of us originally was obligated to put tefillin from sunrise to sunset. He says those who are reading tefillin, which are really osek b'mitzvah, yes. He's not talking now about a man who sits in Yerushalayim or Lakewood and every day for 6 or 7 hours he writes mezuzot. If he doesn't write the mezuzah today, he's losing $100. But this, the Mishnah Berurah explains. A man from South Africa comes to me and says, we don't have mezuzot. Today my flight is leaving at 6 in the evening. If I don't have 4 mezuzot by you today, I will have mezuzot.
Yeah, so he works
This
12 hours
man
straight.
now, this 4 mezuzot that he's writing now is a segment mitzvah, is patur from any other mitzvah. It's patur from tefillah, it's patur from Bikur Cholim, it's patur from... So he's saying, okay, I'm summarizing you the Mishnah Berurah. Go to the
Yeah,
Ramah.
the Chafdal, but it's a little tricky in Chafdal. It depends if there's money involved and not money involved and things like that.
Is is entitled to make some fee, but if he spends 2 hours and he's charging $300 for the mezuzah, it's too much. He's charging the normal rate. This is fine.
But
Now-
when he puts the word rock lehishtaker, lo mikra osek mitzvah.
No, but Rak Lehistaker means he's entitled
Money.
to wear a suit, he's entitled to wear shoes, he's entitled to eat breakfast, lunch, and supper, he's entitled to support his family. But he says, listen, my car is only 8 years old. I would like to buy a new one.
Maybe I want a Mercedes Benz. No, it's very discerning. What Larry said is true. It's discerning. The guy comes to you and tells you, give me $300. I could have done this. I'm doing this for you. Give me 300 of mezuzot. And the market is 60.
Look at that.
That's a small.
Does it go back
The
to
market
the
is 60. I'll buy 1,000 now. I'll give you the money in cash.
No, I mean,
I'm joking.
you don't understand what I'm saying. It's the same thing you told with gold. You're allowed to charge 6 more.
He's saying the opposite from what Larry said and what you said. He is saying that the scribe, most of the scribes that I ever dealt with are this type of scribes. You have to be stupid to be a scribe. You have to sit all day. For every 3 mezuzot, one is pasul. Realize? His eyes, his brain. You have to be focused. You have to go to the mikveh. You have to. They're making a minimal profit.
But it's interesting that the Mishnah Berurah says ikar kavanatam, again kavanah. It's fascinating. It's kavanah business.
If we have time to spend on not on halachot, a human being is not the stomach, not the mouth, not the ears, not the eyes. It's your brain. What do you have in mind? I can compliment him when I have a mitzvah d'oraita, or I can compliment him when I'm selfish because I'm expecting something back. This is what defines a person. In the Torah, what defines a man is what he really means, not the way it looks like. But this is what he's using because later we spoke. The Kavanah defines what the action is. Look at the Rama.
It's so hard to know a kavanah.
It's not hard. We have to learn to look into ourselves.
Yeah, well, looking into oneself is very hard to l'chatchila. I mean,
Years ago, we bought a Sefer. We bought a Sefer many years ago, 30, 40 years ago. And when it came in, there was a problem with the Tagim. So they sent us to I forgot his name, the rabbi who tutored Rabbi Anderson. He lived in the second floor apartment on the U.S. Minimal conditions. We went there. He had bottle thick glasses. It took weeks and weeks. Each thing he took to that was a real software. That was a software from morning till night. That's all he did. So much of it affected his eyesight. That's the kind of software we're talking about.
Hopefully, might fully or not fully, a little bit less people. Unfortunately,
no, it's different today, obviously.
It's the opposite. Look at the Rama. ואם היו צריכים לעשות מלאכתן, if the scribe has to work all day, I summarized you the Mishnah Berurah. Why? Because the person is leaving the country. Listen carefully, as pturim mikriyat shema betfilah betfilin. A man comes to you this morning, the sun was rising at 6, I think. He calls you up, listen, I have a plan in the afternoon, I must have 2 mezuzot. Okay, he doesn't have to do that. He says you don't have to pray today, you don't have to put tefillin. Just sit and write. The כל העוסק במצווה, פטור ממצווה אחרת, אם צריך לטרוח אחר האחרת. If you are immersed sincerely in the mitzvah, for the time being, you don't have to do the other mitzvah.
Capitalizing the word immersed.
אם צריך לטרוח אחר האחרת.
Who would be like this?
Here, a good example is
The prime minister, maybe.
There are two people that the Gemara describes. Those who carry the casket in the morning. In the time of the Gemara, all the funerals took place in the morning. The funeral started early. In time of Kriyat Shema comes, they don't have to say Shema. Why? For the Gemara. Another example okay, this is the Shulchan Aruch. A man is Shomer Hamet. Tonight is Pesach. He is guarding the body. He doesn't make the seder. Should he make the seder? He can stand in the room with the mat and read the Haggadah. This is the case he's talking about. You realize?
But what happens if it was at the time when there was a Karban Pesach and he was sitting and he was guarding a body and he's Tamei Lemeit? What should he do? It comes to Pesach.
Pesach Sheni.
Okay, that's the Pesach Sheni. Perfect. Okay, thank you.
Now let's go to 2 Rambams. Okay, we have 5 minutes. Let's begin. First, look, I gave you. You have a tape. No.
On the Shema, because he said Patur B'Shema, we had Rabbi.
base. Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai was קבוע, באופן קבוע. Look now the Rambam, פרק ט"ו, Rambam ספר נשים. We have 6
Hashim?
ספר נשים, yeah. He's right, ספר נשים, yes. הלכות אישות,
Hold
פרק
on.
ט"ו.
Talking about the room.
Damn,
No,
interesting.
פרק ט"ו, פרק 15, הלכה ב'. רמב"ם ספר נשים, הלכות אישות, פרק 15, הלכה ב'.
Interesting.
So before we read the Rambam, let's summarize what we saw. A person who learns Torah not like on the level of Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai, which applies to 99.09 in the universe, has to stop for every mitzvah. Let's see.
Oh, wait. So the first night that you get married, you're so busy with that.
Okay, this is it. The Gemara.
You didn't start with that one first. That's a more in.
The Mishnah in Brachot and the Mishnah in Sukkah talks about it. The Mishnah in Sukkah says that someone is taking care of a sick person the first night of Sukkot, it's patur from Sukkah. Aish מצווה על פריה וראייה. The mitzvah of parur, who applies to a man? אבל לא האישה. We cannot convince a single girl that there is a point of her getting married because she has a mitzvah for parur. ואם מתי האיש נתחייב במצווה זו? From which age is a man obligated in the time of the Gemara? מבין 17.
What would a source like that be from?
The Gemara,
Or they learn from Pasuk?
the source is based on reality, you'll see
Really?
why I'm saying it. Why?
Okay.
וכיוון שעברו 20 שנה ולא נעשה אישה, הרי זה עובר ומבטל מצוות
You
עשה.
told us that doesn't help out.
But you see that today the average age and sincerely religious boys is 23 to 26. What gave us the leniency?
Yeah, it's just, what do we get to change, or what else? What do we get to change? And what changed through our time?
We didn't change. Chachamim
It's
decided
sensitive what this level
in
is
the
at.
time of the Gemara you went to walk at 17 after you learned about mitzvah at
It's a different
17.
society.
And today you are not ready either to take the yoke of being a husband, a father.
No, I understand practicality. I just
So
wonder
again,
where is the
so the
line
age
where
to
we
begin-
change the Torah and not change. We have a fun and not change that.
If Chachamim clearly told us that the reason we are telling you this year is because A, B, or C. And if this changed,
So they
we
give us
spoke-
the reasons.
we
Okay.
spoke, we spoke many times. Shulchan Aruch says, the Gemara says, if you leave a beverage
Avoid it,
uncovered,
right. Nowadays it doesn't hold.
it doesn't know.
They gave us the reason.
שאין לחשים מצויים בינינו. If
Okay.
the reason was written to begin with, we spoke few times. Now listen. Okay, probably have to spill for tomorrow. Let's see. ואם היה עוסק בתורה, listen to this. If a man is really learning, like Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai, there are many young men that are sincerely learning. וטרוד בה, it keeps him. והיה מתיירא מנישא אישה, is worried, כדי שלא יטרח במזונות בעבור אשתו. If he's getting married, he has to start to support his wife. He would not be able to learn as much. ויבטל מן התורה, הרי זה מותר להתאחר. מותר להתאחר, he can delay the age that he's getting married. שהעוסק במצווה, it is a Rambam out of nowhere. העוסק במצווה, פטור מן המצווה, וכל שכן בתלמוד תורה. Says if I'm busy visiting a sick person or taking care of my mother, I'm patur for mitzvah. Kal vachomer, if you're busy learning, you are what? Patur from Peru, Revu, and we are delaying. Everyone is asking on the Rambam. The rule of osek b'mitzvah, patur min mitzvah, does not apply to Talmud Torah. We stop Talmud Torah, every class, any class, whatever, to any mitzvah. What is the Rambam saying? That we are giving permission to a guy to learn until 24 if he's really learning. Why? Because you're osek b'mitzvah Talmud Torah. So most of the commentators say this is not osek b'mitzvah patur min mitzvah. Means if I entertain my mother or visit the sick man be'emet, I'm not praying mincha today. I lost the mincha. Here we are delaying the mitzvah. Our osek b'mitzvah here we delay the fulfillment of peru revu because of in a second.
Yeah, but that's what makes it even stronger in the case of what is.
So basically it shows you the Talmud Torah is stronger than all the mitzvot. But our learning is not a learning unless we stop for mitzvah. Here, the mitzvah of peru revu of trying to have kids is not going to be cancelled because of learning. It's only delayed. Tomorrow we'll have a few examples. We'll have to stop. Give the Rambam what?
According to Rambam, if I'm missing Shachrit, I can delay it because I'm going to fulfill his obligation, but mincha to pray once a day.
So tomorrow we'll see. Let's say that those rabbis were learning all Pesach, Shabbat, Talmidei, ואמרו להם, הגיע הזמן קריאת שמע. Was it the first time or the last time? Shema.
Right.
Tomorrow we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Has to do with this exactly. The understanding. Live there. Have a wonderful day.
Right.
Have a great day, Rabbi
Yes,
Yishakar.
Well, it's good that you're playing in the second minyan.
I'm a little tired today.
No, because the first minyan is here from tomorrow. I'm going to play the 8 o'clock minyan
I
also.
could be in the office late. I try to be 8 or 5.
No, it doesn't close.
But since I got back from China in October, I've been waking up at 4:35 every day. So, but today I woke up late, so I said, let me sleep. Rabbi the best.
This is
Thank
it?
you.
Yes.
Yeah,